In today's video, we uncover the hidden tactics of opportunists, drama seekers, and manipulators who may be draining your energy without you even realizing it. We'll explore how to recognize these behaviors, set firm boundaries, and protect your peace of mind. It's a powerful journey through the complexities of relationships, where we'll show you how to stop feeling exploited and start focusing on meaningful, reciprocal connections. If you've ever felt like someone's taking more than they give, or if you've been caught up in drama that leaves you exhausted, this video is for you. By the end, you'll have the tools to spot these patterns, regain control of your time, and build healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Don't miss this life-saving insight. Watch until the end and take back your power. Before we start, I'd appreciate your support. If you like the video, please subscribe and hit the bell to stay updated on future lessons from God. Today we are going to dive into an incredibly important and often difficult topic, one that's vital for anyone who wants to help others in a healthy, sustainable way. We'll discuss the 8 categories of people who, despite their apparent need, should not be helped. Understanding these profiles is essential for safeguarding your emotional well-being and ensuring that the help you give is both impactful and genuine. It's far too easy to fall into the trap of helping everyone, believing that your compassion can heal all wounds. However, without proper discernment, your kindness can quickly be misdirected, draining you of energy, disrupting your inner peace, and ultimately leaving you questioning your values and beliefs. The emotional toll can be profound, and over time it may even cause you to doubt your ability to offer support at all. But do not worry. This video will teach you how to identify these challenging profiles, how to navigate these situations wisely, and how to offer help in a way that keeps you grounded and at peace. This is not about turning away from those in need, but about learning to discern who truly requires help and who may only be seeking attention or furthering destructive patterns. This knowledge will empower you to rethink how you assist, shifting your focus from simply giving out of obligation to giving with purpose, helping those who are truly capable of growth and who will value your efforts. If you're committed to improving your discernment, growing in biblical wisdom, and fostering healthier, more balanced relationships, then you've come to the right place. Through this video, you'll be equipped with tools to help you make thoughtful decisions, not based on emotions or immediate urges, but with a heart of wisdom and foresight. You will learn to make choices that support not just others, but also your own peace and long-term happiness. You'll discover insightful ideas that allow you to live out your faith in a way that doesn't exhaust or overwhelm you, but instead uplifts your spiritual and emotional life. As we journey through these examples, I encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Wisdom is built through shared understanding, and your contributions will guide us all to navigate our relationships with deeper clarity. Together, let's explore how we can create more meaningful, fulfilling connections that serve both us and others in profound ways. Now, let's begin by exploring a particular kind of individual who can slowly drain your energy and focus. Those who seem trapped in an eternal loop of crisis and drama. These people often find themselves at the center of never-ending problems, and no matter how much you help, they refuse to take responsibility for their actions. It's as if they live their lives in a constant state of victimhood, unable or unwilling to change their circumstances. Their narrative never shifts, and they keep presenting the same problems over and over again. What's more difficult to bear is that these people don't want solutions, they crave attention. Their identity becomes intertwined with their struggles, and they find comfort in being seen as the one who is always in need. They seek sympathy, not answers. Think of the friend who has come to you time and again complaining about the same issues despite your previous efforts to help. They never make any lasting changes, and yet they keep coming back, asking for more support. After a while, it becomes painfully clear No matter how much advice you give, how much financial help you offer, or how much time you invest, the situation will never improve. Each time you try to help, it only deepens the pattern. It becomes frustrating, exhausting, and ultimately disheartening. It's as though you are pouring all your energy into a vessel with no bottom, and despite your best intentions, nothing ever fills. In these situations, it's crucial to have the wisdom and discernment to recognize when you are not just helping, but enabling. If someone is not ready to change, all the help in the world will be futile. You may find yourself caught in a cycle of emotional manipulation, where their neediness feels like an endless pull on your well-being. So it becomes a matter of understanding. Is this person truly seeking change, or are they simply stirring chaos to feed a deeper emotional need? This is the heart of discernment. In many cases, these people will repeatedly ask for financial help to fix an emergency, but the pattern never ends. You give, they ask for more, and they remain trapped in the same circumstances, each crisis seemingly worse than the last. The cycle continues, leaving you feeling drained, resentful, and depleted. In these instances, the most loving and compassionate response may be to say no. Saying no doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean you lack empathy. On the contrary, saying no means you are protecting your peace, and in doing so, you might be offering them the chance to take responsibility for their actions. It's one of the hardest things to do, but sometimes the best way to help is to let someone face the consequences of their own choices. Empathy means knowing when to give, and equally, knowing when to step back. Instead of offering financial resources or solutions that simply perpetuate the cycle, consider offering guidance in other forms. Maybe connect them with professional resources, support groups, or organizations that are better equipped to offer the help they need. This is where the wisdom of the Bible truly shines. Galatians 6:9-10 urges us to continue doing good, but with balance, understanding that not all aid fosters growth. Sometimes, the most effective help is not the immediate band-aid fix, but the empowerment to make a real, lasting change. Empowering someone doesn't mean providing endless resources or enabling them to remain in a stagnant place. It means guiding them towards self-sufficiency and helping them find their strength and solutions. It means offering them the tools to overcome challenges rather than continuing to carry their burdens for them. Though this approach may feel uncomfortable or difficult in the short term, it will yield far better long-term results. Allowing them to transform their circumstances is far more valuable than allowing them to remain in a perpetual state of dependence. Beyond these dynamics, other behavioral patterns are equally draining. One of the most energy-sapping types of individuals are the chronic complainers, the ones who seem to have an endless list of grievances. No matter what you do for them, nothing is ever enough. Your kindness and support are often met with criticism, never with gratitude. It's as though their complaints are their only source of life force, their only means of connecting with others. They constantly focus on what's wrong, never acknowledging what's right. Despite your best efforts to help, their negative energy seems insatiable. In these interactions, the more you try to offer help or comfort, the more they seem to focus on your mistakes, your flaws, or your shortcomings. The gratitude you hope for is absent, replaced instead with a never-ending critique. It's an exhausting dynamic, one that can wear you down emotionally and leave you feeling unappreciated and misunderstood. It's important to recognize when these people are more interested in being heard than in being helped. Their complaints are their comfort zone, and your attempts to fix things may simply be feeding the very thing that keeps them trapped in negativity. In these situations, it's crucial to recognize your boundaries. You are not responsible for carrying the emotional weight of every person you encounter, and it's okay to step back when someone's negativity becomes overwhelming. Protecting your emotional health is not selfish, it's necessary. By recognizing these patterns and learning to navigate them with wisdom and compassion, you can create healthier, more balanced relationships. In the end, it's about knowing when to help, when to step back, and when to let someone take responsibility for their journey. This kind of discernment may be difficult to master, but with patience, reflection, and wisdom, you can transform the way you engage with others, empowering them to grow while also protecting your peace and vitality. These individuals are trapped in a cycle of constant dissatisfaction, caught in a never-ending loop of complaining. No matter how much effort you put into meeting their needs, the cycle continues, leaving you emotionally drained and disheartened. Imagine a coworker who never stops grumbling about the company, the management, and even the simplest things, like the coffee in the break room. They're always dissatisfied, constantly pointing out what's wrong, without ever acknowledging what might be right. You offer suggestions to improve the workplace, share ideas for professional growth, or suggest ways to make things better, but those suggestions are met with more complaints rather than appreciation. The pattern becomes predictable, and your energy is sapped with every attempt to help, only to see no positive change. The secret to managing these situations lies in maintaining a sense of control over your energy. It's about not being dragged into the toxic cycle of perpetual negativity. Instead of feeding into the complaints, practice caution and be firm in your boundaries. Don't be afraid to be clear and honest about your thoughts. Rather than becoming a part of the problem, stand apart from it. Offer solutions when asked, but if they're rejected, step back. Don't invest further. These individuals often don't want solutions. They want someone to listen to their grievances, and nothing you do can truly satisfy them. Proverbs 19:20-21 wisely advises us to listen to counsel, to seek guidance, and to gain understanding. This wisdom is vital when dealing with those who seem to be stuck in a loop of complaining. Before you offer your help, pause and reflect. Does this person genuinely want to change, or do they simply want someone to share their negativity with? This question is essential, as it will guide how much emotional investment you should place in the interaction. When you help someone who isn't willing to put in any effort themselves, it often distracts you from your own goals, leaving you feeling exhausted and discouraged by the lack of meaningful progress. You may feel as though you're giving endlessly, but nothing ever changes. Wisdom teaches us to direct our efforts toward those who are open to change and growth. Focus your energy on individuals who are committed to improving their circumstances, rather than those who are simply looking to vent. Life is short, and our resources, be they emotional, mental, or physical, are finite. You can honor God, yourself, and your purpose by learning to discern where to invest your time and energy. Another difficult pattern to navigate involves people who act as if they are entitled to your help, displaying a mindset that their needs are a given and that assistance is an obligation rather than a kindness. They never express gratitude, instead treating any help you provide as something that is expected, not something they should be thankful for. It feels as though every act of kindness or support you offer is merely seen as fulfilling a duty, a transaction devoid of mutual respect or appreciation. Relationships with these individuals often become monotonous and unbalanced, governed by a sense of entitlement rather than a spirit of generosity. They never seem satisfied, and the more you give, the more it feels like you're pouring into a void. It's like trying to fill a bottomless container with needles, where no matter how hard you try, the effort feels pointless and painful. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This mindset can be incredibly draining. It strips away the joy of giving, leaving you feeling unappreciated and even resentful. You begin to wonder if your kindness has any real impact, or if it's just expected, like a regular transaction with no deeper connection. Eventually, the imbalance becomes undeniable, and you start to realize that no matter how much you give, it's never enough for them. This is when wisdom tells us to step back. Helping those who demand without appreciation takes away from your peace and fulfillment. You need to recognize when your energy is being consumed by people who take more than they give, leaving you depleted and unfulfilled. At the heart of this is the understanding that true generosity thrives in an environment of mutual respect and appreciation. When someone takes your help for granted, it disrupts the harmony of the relationship, making it difficult for both parties to feel truly supported. It is a constant drain on your emotional and spiritual resources, and it can make you question whether your kindness is being wasted. The solution is not to stop being generous, but to be wise about where and to whom you offer your help. Your time, energy, and kindness are precious, and they should be directed toward those who value and respect them. Offering help to those who truly appreciate it, rather than to those who feel entitled to it, ensures that your relationships remain healthy, balanced, and fulfilling. In the end, it is wisdom and discernment that allows you to recognize when it's time to give and when it's time to step back. The energy you expend should be an investment in growth, both for you and for the person you're helping. By practicing discernment and setting healthy boundaries, you can continue to offer support and kindness without sacrificing your well-being. Consider a neighbor who frequently comes to you with requests, asking you to watch their dog while they're away, lend them tools, or even give them rides, but never offers to help you in return. At first, you don't mind offering these favors. It feels like a small thing to help out a neighbor in need, but over time, you begin to notice a troubling pattern. They ask for help whenever they need it, but when the rules are reversed, they never offer to lend a hand. You begin to realize that your generosity is not being appreciated, it's being exploited. The imbalance becomes clear, and what was once a simple exchange of goodwill turns into a one-sided arrangement. You are left feeling used, drained, and resentful. The problem with these individuals is not that they ask for help. That's a normal part of human interaction. The problem is that they don't reciprocate. They take and take without any intention of giving back. This creates a sense of inequality and unappreciation, leading to frustration and disappointment. At this point, the most sensible course of action is to set firm and clear boundaries. It's not about being unkind, but about protecting your energy and maintaining a healthy sense of fairness in the relationship. When you come to realize that someone is misusing your generosity, it is perfectly acceptable to remain silent or even say no when further requests are made. Silence doesn't mean you are being rude or unhelpful. Rather, it's a signal that you recognize the lack of mutual respect in the exchange. Setting boundaries requires wisdom and a deep sense of self-respect. Compassion doesn't mean allowing your kindness to be abused or taken for granted. True kindness often lies in the ability to say no when necessary while remaining firm and courteous. It's also important to remember that caring for your neighbor doesn't mean condoning behavior that is unfair or exploitative. Proverbs 6:11 warns against laziness and encourages the value of hard work. Hard work and reward are not just values to aspire to. They are the principles that should guide how we interact with others. It's essential to honor people who contribute their fair share rather than enabling those who only take. In relationships, balance is key. When one party is consistently giving without receiving, the relationship becomes unbalanced and unhealthy. This is why setting boundaries is crucial. It allows you to protect your emotional energy and safeguard the integrity of your interactions. On a deeper level, establishing limits is about maintaining your inner peace and staying focused on your own goals. Every time you allow someone to overstep their boundaries, it drains your emotional reserves. But when you set clear boundaries, you protect your peace and ensure that you're not constantly giving to people who don't value your contributions. The result is that you'll feel more grounded, calm, and confident in your relationships, knowing that you're giving to those who appreciate it, and not just to those who take it without giving back. However, not all toxic dynamics come from those who believe they are entitled to everything. There is another, even more insidious type of individual who can cause untold damage: the chronic liar. These individuals are masters of deception. They weave elaborate tales, crafting stories that are designed to manipulate, control, or mislead others. Their lies are often so convincing, so well rehearsed, that they appear genuine. Whether they're telling tales to gain sympathy and wealth, or to escape the consequences of their actions, their motives are rarely pure. Living with a chronic liar can be emotionally exhausting. It's a constant battle between what is true and what is fabricated. The emotional toll is severe because, over time, you start to question everything that person says. The trust that should be the foundation of any relationship is eroded. What's even more difficult is that these individuals have an almost theatrical ability to appear sincere, which makes it even harder to spot their deceit. They know how to manipulate others into believing their lies, often playing on emotions and vulnerabilities to get what they want. But no matter how convincing their lies are, the truth eventually surfaces. Living in a relationship with a chronic liar means constantly navigating a web of falsehoods and half-truths. This can leave you feeling drained, disillusioned, and mistrustful. You may start to doubt your judgment, wondering if you've been taken advantage of or if you've been living in a false reality. The energy you once had for other, healthier relationships is often depleted in trying to make sense of the lies and figure out what's going on. In these situations, it's crucial to set boundaries as well, not just to protect your emotional energy, but to protect your sense of truth and integrity. The longer you tolerate deceit, the more you risk losing sight of your values and personal convictions. Dealing with a chronic liar requires careful consideration and often involves distancing yourself from the relationship altogether. Your emotional and mental health is far more valuable than maintaining a relationship built on manipulation and mistrust. Setting boundaries with a chronic liar is a form of self-respect and an act of protection for your peace of mind. Ultimately, recognizing these harmful patterns and knowing how to navigate them with wisdom and caution is crucial. Whether dealing with entitled individuals or chronic liars, the key lies in protecting your emotional reserves and setting clear, firm boundaries. It's not about being harsh or unkind. It's about recognizing your worth and ensuring that your kindness and energy are spent in ways that nourish you and those who truly deserve it. In these circumstances, the first step is to pay attention to the signs of manipulation and deceit. Lies often come to light over time, so it's important to stay vigilant. Take the example of a friend who repeatedly borrows money but never returns it, promising to pay a bit back the next week, only for the situation to change every time. This is a clear red flag. While we may want to trust and believe the best in others, we cannot ignore these signs, as doing so can lead to ongoing frustration and disappointment. Being cautious and aware of these patterns is the best course of action. Many problems can be avoided by someone determined to spot manipulation early. As 1 Corinthians 15:33 warns us, bad company can corrupt good character, and that includes people who manipulate others for their gain. Trust is important, but it's equally important not to ignore manipulation when it occurs. The act of trusting someone doesn't mean you turn a blind eye to their behavior. Being wise in your relationships is crucial to maintaining peace of mind. Generosity is valuable, but so is wisdom. In some cases, a person may lie because they are struggling or facing hardships. If their lies stem from a place of fear, desperation, or misunderstanding, you can show empathy and offer support. However, offering support should not mean supporting the deception. Providing a helping hand is one thing, but allowing someone to manipulate you is entirely different. It's important to maintain balance in how you offer help and not allow yourself to be taken advantage of. Maintaining equilibrium in these situations is essential to protecting both your values and your peace of mind. Recognizing when someone is frequently dishonest or manipulative is a form of self-defense. It helps you conserve your energy and allows you to direct your attention and support to those who truly need it, not those who are using deceit to get ahead. Another group of people to be cautious of are opportunists. Individuals who see every interaction and situation as an opportunity to gain something, whether it's material, financial, or emotional. These individuals are highly skilled at assessing what they can take from others. Once they've obtained what they want, they disappear, leaving those who help them feeling drained, empty, or guilty. Recognizing and defending yourself against opportunists is essential to maintaining your emotional well-being. To spot opportunists, consider how they behave in your interactions. Do they only reach out when they need something, whether it's a favor, assistance with a project, or advice? But when it comes time to offer something in return or support you, they're nowhere to be found. They use people without considering the value of reciprocal relationships. Establishing boundaries is key to avoiding these types of exploitative cycles. The best way to handle opportunists is to establish clear limits and be firm in enforcing them. Saying no at the right time can reveal their true intentions. Boundaries are exposed when someone is only interested in their gain and not in a genuine reciprocal relationship. By being aware of your time and energy, you ensure that they are only spent on people who genuinely deserve your effort and care. Matthew 10:16 teaches us to be as wise as serpents and as harmless as doves. This means exercising discernment while keeping a pure heart. You don't need to react violently or angrily when you spot an opportunist. Instead, maintain your distance, protect your boundaries, and handle the situation with calmness and clarity. The wisdom comes from knowing when to walk away and not allowing yourself to become emotionally invested in someone who only seeks to exploit you. In many situations, distance can be the most effective option. When someone does not value what they receive, your efforts to help them can ultimately be wasted. It is important to protect yourself against exploiters, not out of selfishness, but as an act of self-respect and self-defense. By distancing yourself from individuals who take without offering anything in return, you make space for relationships that are reciprocal and balanced. These are the kinds of connections that nurture both parties, allowing you to invest time and energy in people who appreciate and respect your contributions. While exploiters may be more covert in their actions, there is another much louder group: drama promoters. These individuals thrive on conflict and have a unique ability to turn small issues into major problems. They seem to enjoy stirring the pot, generating chaos and drawing attention to themselves. Conflict for them is a form of stimulation, and they appear to live for the applause they believe they'll receive from their ongoing arguments. Though they may initially appear charming or engaging, their constant need for drama can drain your emotional resources. The key to handling drama promoters is to identify their behavior early. Think of the coworker who is always exaggerating situations, cracking jokes, or seeking to be the center of attention during conflicts. Rather than focusing on solutions, they seem more interested in perpetuating the problem, often for the sake of personal validation. Once you recognize this pattern, the best approach is to avoid feeding into the drama. Respond objectively without getting emotionally involved in their conflicts. Don't allow their need for attention to escalate the situation. While empathy can sometimes be helpful, it's important not to fall into the trap of becoming enmeshed in their turmoil. Drama seekers often act out due to insecurities or an overwhelming need for love and attention. A reasonable suggestion to help them would be encouraging them to channel their energy into more constructive outlets, such as volunteer work or support groups, where they can receive the attention they crave more positively and productively. However, it's essential to remember that your role is not to change their behavior, but to maintain your peace of mind. Managing drama seekers requires ongoing vigilance and discernment, and distancing yourself from this kind of energy can lead to healthier, more balanced relationships. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. When it comes to one-sided relationships, where one person is only taking and never giving, this becomes a much more complicated challenge. These individuals are often experts at benefiting from others without offering anything in return. They may enter partnerships with an expectation of constant receipt, whether it's in the form of money, emotional support, time, or effort, without ever considering the needs or contributions of the other person. At first, it may seem like you are helping someone who is genuinely in need. You may feel compelled to give to support them. However, over time, it becomes clear that they have no intention of returning the favor or even thriving off the help you provide. Their actions can lead to feelings of exhaustion, resentment, and being taken advantage of. In these situations, it is crucial to recognize the imbalance early and take appropriate action. Set boundaries and be clear about what you are willing to give and what you expect in return. If the other person is not willing to reciprocate or acknowledge your efforts, it may be time to reevaluate the relationship. Continuing to give without receiving anything in return not only drains you, but can leave you feeling emotionally depleted and unappreciated. It's important to remember that relationships should be based on mutual respect, understanding, and a willingness to give and receive. By identifying these one-sided dynamics early on, you can protect yourself from emotional and physical burnout, allowing you to focus on relationships that are truly nurturing and rewarding. The person who always accepts your charity without offering to share the cost, or the relative who is perpetually unavailable when you need them but suddenly appears when they need something, can be frustrating. The Bible offers wisdom in Proverbs 6:11, where it directs us to observe the ants, who work diligently without anyone's help or oversight. And this principle encourages us not to enable parasitic or selfish behavior, and it reminds us to be mindful of how we give. Lending a hand to others is, of course, an act of generosity and wisdom. However, to ensure that you're not being taken advantage of, it's crucial to establish clear boundaries. This involves saying no when necessary and focusing your energy on opportunities that foster growth, such as providing help for education, skill building, or other self-sufficient endeavors. The best kind of assistance is one that not only supports the immediate needs of others, but also helps them develop in a way that enables them to stand on their own in the future. When your generosity is received but never reciprocated, it can be draining. This dynamic can undermine your well-being if you don't recognize it and set appropriate limits. Healthy relationships are built on a cycle of giving and receiving, where both parties are equally invested in one another's success. If you find yourself constantly giving without receiving anything back, it can lead to exhaustion, frustration, and even resentment. Recognizing this and acting accordingly, by focusing on more balanced relationships, will help you save your energy for the people and causes that truly matter. Manipulators, on the other hand, take advantage of situations with skill and cunning. While those who only take may act passively, manipulators are active in exploiting your resources and emotions. They use tactics like guilt, exaggerating problems, and making empty promises to try to make you feel obligated to help. They may sound benign, but their true intent is to benefit at your expense. Identifying these patterns early is critical for safeguarding your emotional and mental well-being. Consider the colleague who frequently asks for your help on tasks but never shows any appreciation for your efforts. Or perhaps someone who pretends to be friendly but is manipulating you to get what they want. In such situations, the guidance from Matthew 10:16 about being wise as serpents and harmless as doves is important. This means using discernment and being aware of hidden motives, all while maintaining a gentle yet firm stance. When dealing with manipulators, you don't have to engage in conflict to protect yourself. A simple, direct statement like, "I can't break the manipulative cycle today," can send a clear message without escalating tensions. When someone tries to emotionally manipulate you, instead of giving in, you can ask, "How do you think I can help you?" This response helps reframe the situation, putting the responsibility back on the manipulator to articulate their needs more honestly and straightforwardly. Maintaining your emotional balance and standing firm in your boundaries is key to protecting yourself from being exploited by manipulators. Through careful discernment, you can keep your relationships healthy while ensuring that your kindness is not used against you. This approach not only puts a stop to the manipulation, but also shifts the responsibility to the other person, requiring them to take accountability for their actions. It's crucial to remember that offering help should come from a place of genuine care, not out of obligation or coercion. By recognizing manipulative strategies early on and choosing not to engage, you expose them without the need for confrontation or escalation. Avoiding unnecessary strain allows you to preserve your emotional energy and maintain your peace of mind. When considering whom to offer help, empathy and wisdom must guide your actions. Not everyone who asks for help truly needs it, and not everyone who needs it will show it. Being mindful of these nuances enables you to offer your support where it will have the most positive impact, ensuring that you don't inadvertently enable destructive behavior or deplete your resources. Now that you are aware of the 8 categories of people who may not deserve your help, it's time to reflect on your relationships. Are you currently giving your time and energy to people who are truly in need? Or are there individuals who are taking advantage of your kindness? Although helping others is a noble and fulfilling act, it can become overwhelming if done without discernment. Take a moment to think about the people you interact with regularly. Are there any individuals who drain your spiritual or emotional energy, leaving you feeling exhausted or unappreciated? If so, it's time to consider setting some boundaries. Establishing limits doesn't mean abandoning people in need. Rather, it's about prioritizing your well-being and ensuring that you're helping those who genuinely need it and who will also be a source of positivity in your life. As you move forward, reflect on how you can adjust your approach to relationships. What boundaries can you put in place to preserve your peace and protect your energy? What steps can you take to ensure that the relationships you invest in are balanced and supportive? Ultimately, God calls us to be both wise and compassionate. The challenge lies in knowing when to give and when to set limits. Ensuring that our acts of kindness do not leave us depleted, but instead contribute to the growth of healthy, reciprocal relationships. Think about how you can apply this knowledge in your own life to create stronger, more balanced connections with those around you. As we wrap up today's discussion, I hope you've gained valuable insights into recognizing when to help and when to set boundaries in your relationships. It's important to be wise, discerning, and compassionate in how we offer support, because our time, energy, and resources are precious. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What is one thing you've learned today that you plan to bring into practice in your life? Please leave a comment below sharing your thoughts. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.